And we are very much happy to be here with you guys doing what we always do every day from Monday to Friday at 5 a.m. So today we're gonna have a one, and we are very much happy
Let
to
me
be
go
here with
to
you guys
immediately
doing
to
what we always do
where
every day
we
from
are,
Monday to Friday
which
at
is
5. Do our savers. We have Dr. Machine. Dr. Machine, I already started the YouTube channel. It's right there. So let me see if any of the guides that we have. It's Henry. Okay, so Henry's not here yet.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Presente.
Good morning. Good morning. Let me go
Mhm.
share and let me know what I can. Why I cannot share? Did I save somebody the power?
Mm.
Oh, okay. We shared. I'm sharing already. So we're sharing also, and you are live. Everybody's live. If you don't show your face, you don't show up on the YouTube channel. So I'm gonna go to Miracle Morning,
Mhm.
and I missed yesterday. It seems to me. So is that yesterday? Hold on.
I
This
don't know.
is today's to what? Today's the 28th.
Day
Okay, good.
28.
Yeah, no, it's good. So let's start with. Let me get some exercise first, and we're gonna go into energize your morning, and we're gonna do visualization and exercise with Patricia Moreno. So this morning practice is a wonderful way to begin the day energized and ready to overcome any challenge. So we're gonna do affirmation and exercise at the same time. So let's follow her lead.
Stand up and start marching.
Let's march.
Just march, a happy march. Shake out your arms and imagine just pulling light and health and vitality and energy into your body. And say, today is a great day.
It's a great day.
Today is a great day. And as you do this march, we're going to balance the energy in your body so you have all the energy you need to have a great day. Do this anytime you want to re-energize yourself. Just march. Now we're going to do
Stand up, march.
4 thumps. And we're going to start on the cheekbones. And you're just going to thump on the cheekbones. You can thump to the rhythm. You can smile. This grounds you, helps you feel safe and secure. So as you tap, just say, I'm grounded today.
I'm grounded today.
I feel grounded today.
I'm grounded today.
I am grounded today.
I'm grounded today.
I am grounded today.
Grounded.
Big deep breath in. Nice big exhale.
March, march,
Now move
march, march.
to the collarbone, right on the corners, and thump right there. This gives you energy and vitality. And as you thump and march and smile, you say, I feel great. I feel great. Keep thumping. Keep smiling. Keep affirming. I feel great.
I feel great.
Breathe deeply. March strongly.
March, 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 march.
Smile.
Smile.
Now you're going to thump the thymus gland. It's right on the breastbone, right between the breasts. And with your right hand, use all 4 fingers and just thump. This helps to strengthen your immune system, helps you feel energized and alive. So affirm, I am healthy.
I am
I
Healthy.
am healthy. March,
March.
smile, breathe. I am
healthy.
healthy. Keep marching, keep smiling. Now make a fist with your hand and with the lowest knuckles of the thumb, thump under the breast, right at the bra line. This helps you metabolize food, thoughts, or toxins. And if you feel stuck in your life or in your body, this will get things moving again. Say, I am free.
I am free.
am free. Now keep thumping. Keep going. Smile, breathe. Now you're going to do the crossover shoulder pull. Press your right hand into your left shoulder, draw a line to your opposite hip. Left hand, right shoulder, press deeply, and then draw the line to the opposite hip. Keep marching. Keep crossing the energy over. Energy is meant to cross over from the left to the right hemisphere of your body. And say, I feel energized.
I feel energized.
I feel energized.
I feel
You
energized.
smile, you march, you breathe,
March.
and you affirm that the energy in your body is balanced.
Stand up, march. Stand up,
And you are
march.
energized.
This is exercise. Stand up,
I
march.
Feel
Can you?
energized.
I feel
Now you're going to do the cross
energized.
crawl. Lift your knee up and tap your opposite knee with your hand. This helps your energy flow, helps your brain work better.
Stand up, stand up, stand up. March,
And say,
march,
I have
march.
all that I need. I have all that I need. Affirming you have the energy you need, the resources you need. Now keep marching or do any move you'd like and start to affirm your own I am statements. Say them with joy, say them with conviction. Pump your fists in the air. March, dance, move, feel the joy, the gratitude, the passion, and the power as you affirm your personal I am statements. And now pump your fists in the air and say, today is a great day.
Today's a great day.
Today is a great day.
Today is a great day.
Today is a great day.
It's a great day.
Today is a
Today
great day.
is a great day.
Now let's start to slow it down a little bit. We're going to end with a zip up. Bring your feet together. And with the two fingers, index finger and the middle finger of your right hand, you're going to trace your central meridian from the pubic bone up to the lower lip. You just trace a line. Then imagine you have a lock and key. And at the bottom of the lip, make a twist like you're turning a key and then throw it away. Let's do that again. Zip up from the pubic bone up the central meridian right to the bottom of the lower lip. Twist and throw it away. And it will help you not take on other people's negativity. It will help you stay stronger. And it really works. It keeps you protected because this meridian governs self-suggestion and hypnosis. So stand and just breathe. Now place your right index finger on your third eye, the spot right between the eyebrows, and the left index finger in your belly button, and pull upwards gently. This connects the two forces at the back of the throat, and it creates a strong, positive force in your body. Breathe deeply. Place your hands at your heart and repeat after me. Love before me. Love behind me.
Love before me.
Love at my left.
Love my left.
Love at my right.
Love in my right.
Love above me. Love below me. Love in me.
Love in me.
Love in my surroundings.
Love in my surroundings.
Love to all.
Love to all.
Love to the universe.
Love to the universe.
I now walk forward confidently in the direction of my dreams. Today is a great day.
Today is a great day. All right, guys. We did today affirmations and exercise. So we are in 3:13. We're gonna go continue, and now we're gonna go into visualization. Let's see if we can find visualization and silence together. So we're gonna go visualizations and silence together. Then we're gonna do visualization and silence and affirmations together. Delight in this state. Connect with the vibrant spirits of your inner child and the luminous energy that forms your essence. With the one and only Lucy Osborne. Remember, we're live in YouTube. I think we just check it. I think we're there. We're there. 8 a.m. So today, all right. So we're live. So let's go to do silence affirmation visualization for 7 minutes or 8 seconds. Get ready. Find a comfortable position. And let's enjoy Lucy Osborne.
Good morning. Are you ready to have a little fun on this precious day? Take a nice deep breath in. Hold it in for a second. And then exhale. Coming into this moment, into this day, into this morning. And through your nose, inhale joy. Inhale joy into your body, and at the top, hold it in. And let that breath and that joy dance within your chest. And exhale with a smile. On the next inhale through the nose, wonder. Take it all in. And once you've inhaled that wonder, hold it in. Let it awaken your cells. Wake up. Exhale with a smile. Inhale playfulness. Inhale that fun spirit. And hold it in. And allow that playfulness to loosen any part of you that is tightened. Loosen it up. And exhale with a little laugh. A little laugh. Good for the soul. And now breathe easily. And imagine each breath creating a tiny little tornado at your heart. So with each breath in and out, you're creating this little energetic spiral right at the heart, coming out of your chest. A bright, silvery, white, glittery spiral. And let each breath feed that spiral. And feel yourself start to spiral upward with this energy. Being drawn up by the energy of the heart, the spirit of your inner child, the life force you are created from. spiral upward, up, up, up. Allow yourself to play and dance and twist and twirl and glimmer in the light. See yourself happy, free, full of wonder, eyes open to serendipity, experiencing the vividness of life, feeling the aliveness in this moment, in this body, in this breath, merging with the all-shimmering oneness of this existence, playing and delighting in your you-ness, floating higher and higher and higher, opening our arms to embrace this day, opening our minds to wonder and wander, opening our hearts to feel into the answer.
What will I do with this one precious day? Today I will be the master of my emotions. Winter comes and goes. The sun rises and sets. Flowers bloom and fade. Trees and plants depend on the weather to flourish, but I make my own weather. How will I master these emotions so that each day will be productive? I will doubt my doubts. I will question my fears. I will interrupt my complaints. I will feel my tears. I will savor the good. I will bask in my achievements. I will appreciate my challenges. I will celebrate my progress. I will become the master of my emotions. My thoughts are not my master, and I am no longer a slave to my old points of view. Today's full bloom of joy will wither and fade, leaving nothing but the seed of a new bloom. And tomorrow, I will sow that seed. For in one seed is the promise of 1,000 forests. So too in desire is the seed of 1,000 manifestations. What will I do with this one precious day? I will send loving kindness to myself, so I am strong enough to withstand the winter. I will send loving kindness to my loved ones, so they will feel the light of 1,000 suns protecting them. I will send loving kindness to my enemies until I have none. I will send love to all beings, knowing we are all one. What will I do with this one precious day? I will accept things as they are, for my feelings are not the fault of another. I am responsible for how I feel, what I say, and what I do. I have the power to choose. Today, I will exercise that power and bring forth loving kindness to all whom I greet. And I will look for the seed of opportunity within every adversity, and I shall succeed. What will I do with this one precious day? I will live this day as if it is my last. And if it is not, I shall fall to my knees and give thanks. This is a precious day.
All right. So we're gonna check visualization and silence. And we have scribing and reading. Let's go scribing. Aligned values. So this is a new one and it's alone. So get your journal If you don't have a journal, buy your journal. If you don't have a journal, you haven't bought a journal, put it in your application note so you can have a history and put all your idea and creativity on that journal. So I have in the 9 months, I have one, two, three, four, five. I think four, one, two, three, four, five journals already with everything that had happened since we started. Journal is important. Right. So let's go to align values. Identify your core values and how they align with your actions. Clarifying how you can make a meaningful impact and contribute to the world in a way that resonates with your true self. The one and only Lucy Osborne, and remember her, this is her. Lucy Osborne is the voice of the Miracle Morning applications, guiding both the live and recorded savers practices. She's the co-creator of Spiritual Fitness and leader of Intensati, a method of movement, mantra, and meditations using energy, emotions, and embodiment to uplift your states and exercise your own power. Through her work, she guides people to use their own thoughts, words, and actions to co create a reality that they love and to accept the process along the way. The one and only Lucy Osborne. Let's write.
You want to make an impact. You want to contribute to the world around you. So let's start with some writing, some scribing. And let's start to think about what causes or issues align with your values and your passion for making a difference in the world. And write them down here. So we start to get clear on what contribution do I want to make? What impact do I want to have? And before I get to that finish line of contribution or impact, answering the question, what causes or issues align with my values and passions for making a difference in the world?
So the question is, what causes and issues aligned with my values to make a contribution in the world? Find out what causes what you love, what you like in the world, and that are aligned with who you are, your principles and values to make a contribution in the world. Let's see if she has a second part.
Who do I care about? What matters to me? What tugs at my heartstrings? What speaks to my soul? Where can I contribute? And where can I make an impact?
Okay, let's take a couple of more minutes. So what causes and issues align with your value to make a contributions in the world, and where can you make that impact or contribution? So that's describing and describing. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes. You have 36 seconds. Hey, let's honest. Remember, this is your 5 a.m. We're streaming live in YouTube, and let's discuss the. It's gonna go with. I'm gonna start myself, then I'm gonna continue with Lawrence, Candido, Gregory, Dr. Z, Marta, Rosaura, Steve, Victor Catano, and what causes and issues aligned with your value to make a contributions in the world, and what is that contribution? Art and culture and meta poetry and psychoanalysis are always aligned from my value so that I can continue building healing curing practices around the world and to continue growing the international meta poetry movement, the European Academy of Meta Poetry, the Institutes of Meta Poetry, and the Fundación Dominicana de Psicoanálisis Metapoesía, the Dominican Foundations of Psychoanalysis and Metapoetry, and to make the PIM, which is the World Congress, one of the best in the world, and to create funding at least 10% all I do to be invested into these endeavors and to make the Global Meta Congress one unique destination from Madrid to the world each year. Amen. Right. Let's go to as I see it now. Okay, yeah. Lawrence, correct?
I got to work on this a lot, so I'm gonna have to start discussing this with you, I guess, Dr. Piña, because I feel pretty much like I go to work and I come home and that's it. So I got to work more on my mission rather than just helping the company I work for. So
Okay,
that's for our next session.
good. All right, let's go to Candido.
Yes, good morning. Yes, I love my family and all the people. I want to be happy and make anyone who be close to me happy too. And I'm gonna contribute with peace and love in the world.
Excellent. Good. Let's go to Gregory Denisard.
Good morning. I believe that every young person in America deserves the opportunity to succeed, and I am committed to equipping them with the knowledge, resource, and support they need to thrive. My dedication to helping students succeed aligns with this mission, as education and mentorship are key drivers of success. By fostering growth, resilience, and confidence in young people, I aim to empower them to achieve their dreams and contribute positively to their community. Thank you.
Excellent. We're gonna go to Dr. Z.
Good morning.
Morning.
For me, the values that I want to implement would be truth, wisdom, and insight, where the cause that these would be most beneficial or that drive me would be the digital evangelization that I'm doing. And this will benefit because if everyone followed Christian biblical values, the world would be a much better place, all in all.
Excellent. We're gonna go to Marta Rodriguez.
Yes. Aquí. Hi, good morning. My contribution fair is working in me to become better and better self, uh, and become better human being, and also contribute to help my community to work in themselves to become a better human beings and in wellness in your favor, working in their favor. They really know that we has to do the best for ourselves to help you God to we another people who is sleeping, who is not aware about that we are responsible for ourselves, for our own happiness, and we may the own sign suffer and power the thinking. Thinking is our power. And when we start thinking positive and good things for ourselves, the life coming more easy. But we have to change inside. We a lot of work, little by little, because there is no fast food. It's quality person to and inspire another people. Not because you say I am successful and I am powerful. No, sino they see you or see me and they wanna say, oh, I wanna eat what you eat. I wanna do what you do for become like you when I am old. Uh, and help you, the people. We coming here to become better and better and unique, like God created us. But the thing that we have to change, and the thinking, and show out. Not because you say, sino because the people see if you are good or not. And thank you.
All right. All right. Let's go to Steve and then Catano. Steve.
Yes, sir. Let me go to my note. I had to type in my phone. Okay. I believe in improving the world for ourselves and our future leaders. I believe this can be achieved through self-improvement. Just looking for ways to better ourselves and um, through hard work and goal setting, and which will likely be a big part of our life. Also through uniqueness. Value uniqueness means we have to cherish our individuality. You don't have to mind being different and likely love the idea of going against the grain. Also, assertiveness. Assertiveness, as we know, is the act of communicating in a confident, bold manner. If you stand up for yourself, you are being assertive. Assertive versus aggressive communication styles are different. Assertiveness is one of many communication styles. And I believe by instilling these core values and friends, families, and our future leaders, that the world can be improved and be a better place for everybody.
Okay, let's go. Perfect. To Victor Catano.
Morning, all. Um, so there are days where I feel very weary and wonder why I try so hard to see things that are not possible. I feel doubt creep in and almost witness the devil's checkmate regularly. I hear foolishness in 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 my head about curses on my family line. Why, oh why am I pressing in? But then I take joy in the blessings that I have and look behind me and see how far I've come. People need to feel and experience this too. I see all those who I have graced simply by showing them God's love. I see their victories, and I understand what the power of prayer has done. This week alone, I have claimed so many victories that have come from a variety of prayers. On this day, I am so charged up with victory just from an incredible prayer session earlier this morning and an uplifting savors today. Thank you, Dr. Piña, for that. I commit more than ever to spreading my message of perseverance and overcoming through the Lord. I will continue to pour out my love and do this through my connection with people and by sharing stories of hope and joy through any channel that is at my disposal.
Okay, so we have aligned values and make a lot of impact contribution is the world by peace and love in the world from the love of family and people like Candido, driving young students and mentorships by Gregory, the truth, wisdoms, insights, digital Christians values by Dr. Z, working myself to become better human being, help community in themselves and wellness, our favor best for self, thinkings in our people, change start from inside, little by little, become better and unique, improve your world for our leaders through self and improvements by Martha first and then Steve, uniqueness and assertiveness. It's instilling these core values to all the leaders in the world. Joy of pleasing on blessing the people to experience joy by themselves by showing God's great power to victory for all is the message of Victor uh, message of perseverance and stories of joy and hope. So without further ado, we're gonna go and check those area for us. And here we are. We have everything's done. So let's go to scribing, to reading. Do we have the reading ready? Is Andy here? If not, we'll try to find it into your book, Victor, into your audio.
Okay, I can do it.
You can do it?
Yeah.
Do you remember where we left it?
If you tell me where we left it, I can.
So we were in chapter habit 1 and the proactivity defined. So we just read all over to the social mirror between stimulus and response, and then proactivity defined.
Okay. I need power.
Let me give you the power right now. You have the power.
Thank you, sir.
Part 2. Oh, talk about the mood you are now not one U.S. doing. Frankl was a determinist raised in the tradition of Freudian psychology, which postulates that whatever happens to you as a child shapes your character and personality.
Move it up.
Germany, where he experienced things that were so repugnant to our sense of decency, and his students the lessons he was learning during his very torture.
Move it up.
In addition to self-awareness, which we have spoken about, we have imagination, the ability to create in our own minds beyond our present reality.
Move it up. Move it up.
We also have our integrity. And finally, fourth degree, it's a matter they can't change the programming. They're not even aware of the most basic habit of a highly effective person in any environment, the habit of proactivity. While the word proactivity is now fairly common in management literature, it is a word you won't find in most dictionaries. It seems measurable and predictable, and man's is unlimited. But if we live like animals, out of our own instincts and conditioning and conditions, and out of our collective memory, we too will be limited. The deterministic paradigm comes primarily from the study of animals, rats, monkeys, pigeons, dogs, and neurotic and psychotic people. While this may meet certain criteria of some researchers because it seems measurable and predictable, the history of mankind and our own self-awareness tell us that this map does not describe the territory at all. Our unique human endowments lift us above the animal world. The extent to which we exercise and develop these endowments empowers us to fulfill our uniquely human potential. Between stimulus and response is our greatest power, the freedom to choose.
Okay, right there.
Proactivity defined. In discovering the basic principle of the nature of man, Frankl described an accurate self-map from which he began to develop the first and most basic habit of a highly effective person in any environment, the habit of proactivity. While the word proactivity is now fairly common in management literature, it is a word you won't find in most dictionaries. It means more than merely taking initiative. It means that as human beings we are responsible for our own lives. Our behavior is a function of our decisions, not our conditions. We can subordinate feelings to values. We have the initiative and the responsibility to make things happen. Just look at the word responsibility. Response, ability. The ability to choose your response. Highly proactive people recognize that responsibility. They do not blame circumstances, conditions, or conditioning for their behavior. Their behavior is a product of their own conscious choice based on values, rather than a product of their conditions based on feeling. Because we are, by nature, proactive, if our lives are a function of conditioning and conditions, it is because we have, by conscious decision or by default, chosen to empower those things to control us. In making such a choice, we become reactive. Reactive people are often affected by their physical environment. If the weather is good, they feel good. If it isn't, it affects their attitude and their performance. Proactive people can carry their own weather with them. Whether it rains or shines makes no difference to them. They are value-driven, and if their value is to produce good, quality work, it isn't a function of whether the weather is conducive to it or not. Reactive people are also affected by their social environment, by what we might call the social weather. When people treat them well, they feel well. When they don't, they become defensive or protective. Reactive people build their emotional lives around the behavior of others, empowering the weaknesses of others to control them. In a sense, they give away their future. Their future is made hostage by their past. The ability to subordinate an impulse to a value is the essence of the proactive person. Reactive people are driven by feelings, by circumstances, by conditions, by their environment. Proactive people are driven by values, carefully thought about, selected, and internalized values. Proactive people are still influenced by external stimuli, whether physical, social, or psychological, but their response to the stimuli, conscious or unconscious, is a value-based choice or response. As Eleanor Roosevelt observed, no one can hurt you without your consent. In the words of Gandhi, they cannot take away our self-respect if we do not give it to them. It is our willing permission, our consent to what happens to us that hurts us far more than what happens to us in the first place. It isn't the snake that bites you that does the serious damage. It's chasing that snake that drives the poison to the heart. The greatest harm is that which we do to ourselves in response to the seeming harm from the outside by others. I admit this is very hard to accept emotionally, especially if we had years and years of explaining our misery in the name of circumstance or someone else's behavior. But until a person can say deeply and honestly, I am what I am today because of the choices I made yesterday, that person cannot say, I choose otherwise. Once in Sacramento, when I was speaking on the subject of proactivity, a woman in the audience stood up in the middle of my presentation and started talking excitedly. It was a large audience, and as a number of people turned to look at her, she suddenly became aware of what she was doing. She grew embarrassed and sat back down. But she seemed to find it difficult to restrain herself and started talking to the people around her. She seemed so happy. I could hardly wait for a break to find out what had happened. When it finally came, I immediately went to her and asked if she would be willing to share her experience. You just can't imagine what happened to me, she exclaimed. I'm a full-time nurse to the most miserable, ungrateful man you can possibly imagine. Nothing I do is good enough for him. He never expresses appreciation. He hardly even acknowledges me. He constantly harps at me and finds fault with everything I do. This man has made my life miserable, and I often take my frustration out on my family. The other nurses feel the same way. We almost pray for his demise. And for you to have the gall to stand up there and suggest that nothing can hurt me, that no one can hurt me without my consent, and that I have chosen my own emotional life of being miserable, well, there's just no way I could buy into that. But you know, I kept thinking and thinking and thinking about it. I really went inside myself and began to ask, do I have the power to choose my response? When I finally realized that I do, that I have that power, when I swallowed that bitter pill and realized I had chosen to be miserable, I also realized I could choose not to be miserable. At that moment, I stood up. I felt as though I was being let out of prison. I wanted to yell to the whole world, I am free. No longer am I going to be controlled by the treatment of some person. It's not what happens to us, but our response to what happens to us that hurts us. Of course, things can hurt us physically or economically and can cause sorrow. But our character, our basic identity, does not have to be hurt at all. In fact, our most difficult experiences become the crucibles that forge our character and develop the internal powers, the freedom to handle difficult circumstances in the future, and also to inspire others to do so as well. Frankel is one of many who have been able to develop the personal freedom in difficult circumstances to lift and inspire others. The autobiographical accounts of Vietnam prisoners of war provide additional persuasive testimony of the transforming power of such personal freedom and the effect of the responsible use of that freedom on the prison culture and on the prisoners both then and now. We have all known individuals in very difficult circumstances, perhaps facing a terminal illness or having a severe physical handicap, but who maintain magnificent emotional strength. How inspired we are by their courage and integrity. Nothing has a greater, longer-lasting impression upon another person than the awareness that someone has transcended suffering, has transcended circumstance, and is embodying and expressing a value that inspires and ennobles and lifts life. One of the most inspiring times Sandra and I have ever had took place over a 4-year period with a dear friend of ours named Carol, who had a wasting cancer disease. She had been one of Sandra's bridesmaids, and they had been best friends for over 25 years. When Carol was in the last stages of the disease, Sandra spent time at her bedside, helping her write her personal history. She returned from those protracted and difficult sessions almost transfixed by admiration for her friend's courage and her desire to write special messages to be given to her children at different stages in their lives. Carol would take as little pain-killing medication as possible so that she had full access to her mental and emotional faculties. Then she would whisper into a tape recorder or to Sandra directly as she took notes. Carol was so proactive, so brave, and so concerned about others that she became an enormous source of inspiration to many people around her. I will never forget the experience of looking deeply into Carol's eyes the day before she passed away and sensing out of that deep, hallowed agony a person of tremendous intrinsic worth. I could see in her eyes a life of character, contribution, and service, as well as love and concern and appreciation. Many times over the years, I have asked groups of people how many have ever experienced being in the presence of a dying individual who had a magnificent attitude and communicated love and compassion and served in unmatchable ways to the very end. Usually about 1/4 of the audience respond in the affirmative. I then ask how many of them will never forget those individuals, how many were transformed, at least temporarily, by the inspiration of such courage and were deeply moved and motivated to more noble acts of service and compassion. The same people respond almost inevitably. Viktor Frankl suggests that there are 3 central values in life: the experiential, or that which happens to us; the creative, or that which we bring into existence; and the attitudinal, or our response in difficult circumstances such as terminal illnesses. My own experience with people confirms the point Frankl makes, that the highest of the 3 values is attitudinal. In the paradigm or reframing sense, in other words, what matters most is how we respond to what we experience in life. It gives a good definition of courage. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the awareness that something else is more important. Difficult circumstances often create paradigm shifts, whole new frames of reference by which people see the world and themselves and others in it, and what life is asking of them. Their larger perspective reflects the attitudinal values that lift and inspire us all. taking the initiative.
Okay, let's stop it right there. Get it
Our
a little,
basic nature is to act
let it back a
and
little bit.
not to be acted upon, as well as enabling us to choose our response.
All right, so we're gonna leave it on take initiative. We have
Create paradigm shifts, whole new frames of reference by which people see the world and themselves and others in
stop
it.
it, stop it. All right, so we left it on taking initiative, and we are in proactivity define. So let's start our discussions just right now. And reading is done. Yeah. And we're gonna go to take a couple of minutes to discuss this proactivity define. And remember that we are in chapter 1. Be proactive. Be proactive. Habit 1. Be proactive. What you got?
He said a highly effective person is proactive, and I believe that to be true. We have to be proactive instead of reactive to stuff. Being proactive means you're ahead of the game. You're ahead of what you're trying to do. So you won't have to react to a situation or a tasking that you have. Another thing that resonated with me is when he was talking about being proactive with illness. My wife is a testament to that. When she got diagnosed with multiple sclerosis back in 2009, and she got sort of depressed, and it was kind of hard for her, but she decided that she wasn't going to let it get the best of her. And Dr. Piña knows all too well. She had to go from her corporate job at Blue Cross and Blue Shield to totally reinventing herself and being proactive, and she just she started different regimens, changing her diet, um, exercising. They told her she wouldn't be able to work anymore or being stressed out. I mean, she's a school teacher now, so and she's going for her master's, and she's trying to become a counselor now. So she's been, ever since her diagnosis, she's been proactive. She's been very proactive. So this chapter really resonates with me.
I think that the opposite of proactive is obviously reactive, right? And I think that when you're reactive, right, you're handling things. Some people have the ability to be reactive and handle things as they come up, and just react to whatever life throws at you, whatever, circumstance you're dealing with, right? But it is far easier to deal with things when you're proactive and you're thinking ahead and you're trying to see, you know, my favorite metaphor is trying to see people coming up the hill, right? You're standing at the top of the hill, and when you can see people coming up the hill, you can really kind of see their path, right? And proactivity is kind of the same way, right? When you are proactive, you've already thought of this, you've thought of that, you've wondered about this and wondered about that, and when it's upon you, you've already thought that through, and so you can react quickly. And like sometimes that happens when you're presenting or when you're going into a situation, when you're well prepared. We read the book on negotiation, right? When you're prepared for negotiation, you can go into those negotiations and you can fire back when you're feeling like you're losing that negotiation, right? Um, and it's just always better to do things from a state of being prepared, right? People will always say, and I hate to be cliche, but it's always better to fail with a good plan than to succeed with like no plan, right? Because eventually, um, when you're always doing something with lack of preparedness, you're going to fail somewhere, right? Because you can't, because when you're doing things without proper planning, you're just setting yourself up for luck. And, we can't put our lives, our plans, our goals, our dreams, we can't put them up to luck. We got to put them up to proper planning. And that's being proactive.
Yeah, I just want to dovetail on what Victor is saying. This chapter asks an important question: do you want to be a circle of influence or a circle of concern? And I wrote down in my notes that proactive people focus on what they can control, circle of influence instead of wasting time on things that they can't control, circle of concern. So thank you, Vic, for that.
Good morning. I thought about the two phrases, the one from Eleanor and from Gandhi. It says, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. And Gandhi that says, nobody can hurt me without my permission. I often use the one from Gandhi, but today I got a deeper meaning that says that is our reaction to what others do that can affect us. But if we have, if we choose to believe what they're saying about us, that's how it can affect us. But we have to believe in our self-worth, in our confidence, and self-esteem, and believe in our values, and choose a more proactive response to the words of others.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
I got from Be Proactive is take responsibility for your own life. Managing your time effectively, keeping a positive attitude means that you are in control of your response no matter the situation. You got the freedom to choose how you respond to any situation. So you are proactive, you act before acting, and that's why you take the responsibility for your own life, because you got the conscious to act before, to be present.
Are you there, Candido?
Yes.
Okay. Dr. C. Lawrence, what you got?
So I'm trying to implement a lot of this. My company where I work, because a lot of the things and way we have set up is completely reactive, not proactive. So this is something I've been working towards, implementing backup systems that using automation can just take over and do stuff without having to have human intervention. So it's a long process to actually do the thinking and the work to set up those systems. But if you do that, you can have business continuity is what it's called. So where the business can continue to operate if something bad happens. So it does take a lot of thought and planning. And there are business decisions that have to be made related to this. You have to decide, is it cost effective to have these systems in place that can do this? Or are you willing to have the business go down for hours at a time and people not be able to work? So these are the things that I'm working to figure out and protect us as a company, because they're not, it's not like a $2 fix or something. You're talking tens of thousands of dollars sometimes. But if you have 100-person company and now they can't work, well, that's even worse. So proactive is the way to go, but it takes work to set up the systems and put things in place. But once you have the systems in place and you've done the exploration, you're better off. So that's my 2 cents.
And with the proactivity portion later on, there's a portion of the book that talks about managing people versus leading people. And I started, when I read that when I was at the airport the other day, I took that with ChatGPT and essentially created an entire platform of how to improve my leadership and better manage my own managing skills. Because anyone can fight fires every day. I'm here for strategic operations, and that's where I need to focus my efforts and be proactive in that sense. And it's hard because some things you have to anticipate, but you don't know what to anticipate. So it becomes a system of building systems that allow you to traverse any murky waters that come up with, regardless of what kind of anticipated issues come aboard. And that's similar to Lawrence. I am working hardcore at that. I've journaled 20 to 25 pages worth on the last couple of days, just studying myself and different techniques and organizational skills in order to implement all this.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, it's not easy.
But it'll be worth it, like you said.
Exactly.
All right, Martha, do you want to have the last word?
No, it's okay what they say. I agree.
All right,
Okay.
guys. So we're gonna go into we are in habit number 1. Everything is gonna be proactive. So we're gonna keep ourselves a couple of days on it. So tomorrow is taking the initiative. We have act or be acted upon, listening to our language. Also, the circles of concern, circles of influence, also then defined. Proactive focus, and then direct, indirect, and no control. Expanded the circle of influence, and two habs and the bees, the habs and the bees. The other ends of the stick, making and keeping commitments. Proactivity, the 30-day test. We'll see what it is to see if we can do it. I don't remember about that. And then that's finished. And then there is an new insight in the habit 1, be proactive, by Sean Covey, his son. So we have a couple of days to work on that. Thank you, everybody, today for being here. We finished our podcast and streaming in YouTube. I will send it right away. And I'm going to wish you all a wonderful day today. All right.
Thank you.
Hey, everyone, be blessed.
Have a great day.
Be proactive.
And happy Friday,
Happy Friday.
everybody. Thank
Thank
you, everybody.
you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.